Sorry, we can't help you. Joe didn't turn up for work today. We don't really know what to do. You'll have to wait till he comes back. Now, if I'm the customer hearing that kind of response, I'm not going to be very pleased with the outcome. I'm going to be pretty upset. Welcome to the business behind your business. Conversations to help your business grow and thrive. Hi, I'm Paul Sweeney, founder of Pretium Solutions, chartered accountants and certified business advisors, hosting the business behind your business. Welcome to the business behind your business. I'm Paul Sweeney. I'm a chartered accountant and business advisor. That's my role. That's what I do with my clients. And look, I'm following up on a conversation we had with Jason Smith a couple of episodes ago where we talked about his journey to selling a successful business and selling it successfully at a good price and quickly. And one of the things that came up in that discussion was the ability of him to sell quickly because of the processes and systems he had in place, and also the ability for him to walk away from the business and have some time off. So I've had a few questions come in from our listeners about this whole idea of systems and processes. And look, one of the questions is it too hard? And really, is there any benefit from doing it? And so I'm going to explore that a little bit today. So there are 5 main benefits that I would like to share that that your business will get from actually having your systems and processes documented correctly. And look, it doesn't have to be a hard and difficult process. So there are tools that are available to make this easier. But in simple terms, it's a case of how we do things. Let's write it down and share it with our team. So look, there are 5 benefits that come to mind immediately, and they are effectively, you've got improved productivity, improved quality of your outcomes, customer satisfaction goes up, and at the end of the day, if you've got good systems and processes, what is going to happen is your profit and revenue are going to increase, and you're going to enjoy a lot more freedom by having a more profitable business and more time available. But there's a 5th one there that we don't often think about, and it's one of those things that comes up quite frequently, and we do talk about this on the podcast, on the business behind your business, is this risk of legal liability. If we have good systems and processes in place, we're going to reduce that risk through the way that we operate our business. So if we think back to why we went into business, a lot of us went into business to get that personal freedom, that extra time, extra revenue, value, and satisfaction from what we're doing. And a lot of the times we're not getting that, and it's because so much of our business depends on us. So much depends on us. We're making the decisions. Our team members, our employees don't necessarily know what the process is or how they should answer or how they should respond. And every time that happens, we should have a system in place. We should have a standard answer, a standard response, and we should document that because it really is about creating an ideal, that ideal business, that business that works without us. We go into business for us. We don't go into business to work harder than we did before. We want to work smarter and have good systems in place, good team people in place, and get value out of our business. So we have this situation where a lot of us have gone into business chasing those ideals, and that's not what our business looks like today. So we're faced with this situation, and this might be familiar with you. So let's say we've got an employee called Joe, and Joe's quite critical to the business, and we have a customer ring up and say, look, I need to speak to Joe because I need to find out where that order is. I need it in my business today so that I can deliver to my customers. And look, if nobody else knows what to do in the business, there's no system or process, or they can't easily find out what's going on, the response could be something like this, which says, sorry, we can't help you. Joe didn't turn up for work today. We don't really know what to do. You'll have to wait till he comes back. Now, if I'm the customer hearing that kind of response, I'm not going to be very pleased with the outcome. I'm going to be pretty upset, and I may consider not doing business with you again because you've really disappointed me. You've let me down at a critical time, all because Joe took a day off. Now, that might seem a bit extreme, but it's a pretty common occurrence in most small and medium businesses. We are so dependent on key people, and when they are missing, that's when errors occur, that's when problems occur, that's when customers get unhappy, that's when we lose revenue. And we talked in our last episode with Jim Mills about the need to identify the risk of something happening to a key person in your business. Not necessarily an owner, but a key driver of revenue. And it could be a salesperson, or it could be a programmer, or even a foreman, just somebody that is critical to the revenue of your business. Now, if something happens to them, what's the risk to your business? And that's where we talked about this idea of key person insurances. But look, we can overcome a lot of this risk and reduce it by having in place good systems and processes. So, look, we use the example of Joe, but just substitute yourself in there. You, the business owner, are Joe, and if you have a day off, could your business survive? Would you lose business? Would your customers be unhappy? Would your team be able to produce? Or maybe you don't have a team and it's just you. If you are unable to operate in your business for a day, what would be the outcome? And this is why processes and systems are in place. And look, there are advantages of doing it. There are many advantages, and we talked about those. But when you have a process and a procedure in place that's documented, when a system is easy to locate and follow, you have situations where every customer transaction is handled the same way. We avoid these situations where customers don't have their inquiries handled correctly. Their expectations aren't met. Errors are not, well, we won't say errors are never made, but errors are reduced. The solutions are there to fix. And we avoid this situation of having other people's time wasted trying to find out what this person did, or trying to find out what did Joe do on this job? Where is it up to? Like what stage of the process or the supply to the customer is the job at? Can we pick it up? Can we finish it? We don't waste a lot of time if we've got good systems in place that tell us exactly where things are up to. And look, while we're trying to find out what Joe did on that job, we're not getting our own work done. So there are advantages there of having systems in place. So look, if we don't have good systems in place, at the end of the day, what's going to happen is we're going to lose customers, we're going to lose sales, we're going to lose time, we're going to lose productivity, we're going to lose income, and we're going to have a lot more stress. We're going to have a lot more stress in the business, and we're going to be a lot more frantic. And we want to avoid that situation because that's completely the opposite of why we went into business in the first place. We didn't go into business to be stressed. We didn't go into business to be chasing our tails, having everything depend on us. Some of us like to problem solve and be the person that fixes things, but we can build such a dependence on ourselves if we don't enable other people to do the job. If we don't enable systems to do the work, if we don't automate things that can be automated, we're just creating unnecessary stress for ourselves, and we're eating into the profitability of our businesses, and that's not a good thing, and we don't want that. So what we want to do is avoid this situation where the business depends on us. We want to be like Jason Smith, where we turn up to the office and we get told, you're not needed. We can function without you. We can be profitable without you being here. And that's in my view, an ideal business, that you can have a business that runs independent of you. And you can do that by creating good systems and processes. So there's some simple ways that we can do that. And look, there are systems, tools to help with this, but in very simple terms, for every time you are asked a question, write a simple, how we do it here, as an answer. You can type it in Word, you can type it in a spreadsheet or wherever, but just very quickly, every time you are asked a question, write it down. How we do it here. And very soon you've got a collection of answers to those questions, and that's a set of procedures. And then the next step is to make sure that those procedures are put in a central location that all of your team members can access, and that they can easily find what they need to, that it's searchable. Ideally, if you're updating it, you've got version control. And what that means is that everybody knows they're looking at the most recent version of the process. So there are some simple steps there. Now, tools, how do you do it and how do you collect it? Well, you can just have Word. You can just have something shared in a wiki, like in Microsoft Teams. That might be a way of doing it, or you can actually have a system designed to do to collate your policies, your procedures, and to have the version control and make it searchable. And look, those tools exist, and we do recommend them. You can have those in place. Another one that Jason and I talked about when we were talking about successfully selling a business is using something like a tool called Loom, where you can record simple how-to videos. And there are plenty of other programs out there that let you do it. Snagit and Camtasia and Screencast, and there are a whole lot of tools. And Loom's a good one for sharing links to quick videos. Very simple. You can just say, "Oh, look, here's your question. How do I run this report in Xero, let's say, or how do I get this data out of my CRM?" And you can just do a screen capture of how you would run that report, and you can actually talk through the process rather than saying, "I click here and click there." They can see you clicking where you need to go, and you can just talk through the process of what's going to happen. And look, those videos are a 30-second, 60-second reminder of how to do things. And they're particularly good for tasks or processes that aren't recurring every day. So you can say, okay, well, we did this a year ago. How did we do it then? We can just look up the video. And you can store those in a central location, so Teams or Google for your workplace. But just making sure that you've got a record. This is how we do it here. These are the steps. Make sure that people can find what they've got to do, and that you update it. That's searchable, easily found. But you need to get into a habit of answering questions every time you ask, "How do we do this here?" Or "How do we do this? Where do I find it?" Provide an answer. Write it down. Look, if you need help with starting this, because sometimes we don't know where to start, and we need help. And I mentioned there are tools out there that help with managing all of that documentation, managing your version control, providing a simple way that employees can be notified when there's an update. And we use what we call the Mouse Business Planning HR Pack, because it has the policies and procedures in there. We version control, and we use that in our business. And it's a good way of quickly documenting a lot of processes. And then you can go through and edit them as you need to put your own spin on it, or your personalisation for your business. But you've got that visual record, you've got the version control in there, it's easily searchable by employees. And once you update something, you can easily tell people that there's a new process that's been documented. And that's a tool. Actually, there's a lot of tools in that pack, in that Mouse Business Planning and HR Pack, because they have the documentation, the processes, the policies. There's a whole bunch of other tools in there, like job descriptions and business planning tools as well. And that's available for $97 a month, which is quite a bargain, really. Saves a lot of your time and enables you to have those processes and systems documented correctly and quickly. And we'll put a link to that in the show notes. So if you'd like to have a look at that, please do. Look, there's also some other tools, and I'll put some links to those in the notes as well. So that was Loom and I think Snagit. So the different ways of capturing data, capturing a video record of how we do things. So whatever you can do to make it easier for people to follow, you get more consistency, better quality, less loss of time, and a better outcome. And look, if you can equip your employees, your team, to do things that at the moment they're depending on you for the answer, then that's a good thing, because you're using them to produce more income. Your dependence, or your business dependence on you, is reduced, and you can actually spend more time working on your business. Or the outcome that we really want is enjoying those freedoms of more time and more financial freedom from running a successful and profitable business. So there's a bit of a discussion on processes and systems and why they're a benefit to businesses at all scales, at all levels. So even just a sole person, even if you're the only person, document how you did it, because sometimes you go back and you think, well, how did I do this 6 months ago? I can't remember what steps I followed. So you want to make sure you get consistency. So even from a sole trader, one-man show to larger businesses with 5, 10, 15, 20 employees, there are advantages in documenting your processes and having those consistencies, consistent steps, making sure everything's done the same way, and your customer service improves, your quality improves, and your profit improves. And then at the end of the day, when you're doing those things, if somebody does look to buy your business and you've got all these processes documented, it's a lot better prospect. You're going to be able to sell it a lot more quickly, and we don't want to be in a situation where we don't have a business that we can sell, because every decision still depends on us as the business owner. We want to avoid that. So get some processes down. Start writing down your answers, or even typing them up. Whatever tool you want to use, just start. Make sure you document. Thanks for listening. Do you have a question you'd like our team of experts to answer? If you do, send your question to podcast@thebusinessbehindyourbusiness.com. To hear more from The Business Behind Your Business, don't forget to subscribe using your favourite podcast player. Or you can visit the businessbehindyourbusiness.com website.